What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You guys know it is. It's your boy, Kevin, man. All right, so today we're going to check out top 5 reasons Filipino soldiers should not be underestimated, man. I know I watched some videos of the Filipino soldiers, man, and the Scout Rangers are deadly, man. I seen the video of them in Syria. They're brave, man. Honestly, these guys are brave. And this video is going to show us why they shouldn't be underestimated. Anyways, let's get in the damn video, man. Let's go. Top 5.
Good day, YouTube. Today we will talk about why Filipino soldiers should not be underestimated. Filipinos are not new in battles and wars. I think the Philippines is one of the countries in Asia with so many documented battles and wars in history.
Yep.
Since the first battle that took off in Mactan against the well-equipped Spaniards to this generation against insurgencies and terrorism, Filipinos are no ordinary warriors. So here are the top 5 reasons why you should not underestimate Filipino soldiers. Number 5. Tested survivalists. Filipino soldiers can survive in any form of terrain conditions except for winter condition because that never happened in the Philippines. Even with inadequate supplies and equipment, they can manage to survive and stay in their position and finish the mission. If you talk to Filipino veterans, they like to share some of their stories in a jungle and how they managed to survive for many days hunting their enemies. Number 4. Filipino soldiers know how to enjoy their profession. This is really something that makes Filipino soldiers unique. They are just happy soldiers. They know how to raise their morale in their own way. Even they are away from their families, the brotherhood of these men in arms are really strong and they are willing to sacrifice for them. That is the reason.
See, this one surprised me. I didn't know about this one. I knew they have heart, like they got heart, but this one I didn't know they can have some fun, enjoy themselves. Really, enjoy the moments, even though it may not be like horrible, like it's well, it is horrible or whatever, man. But at least they enjoying the moment, live in the moment. They don't worry about so many things like gonna happen for tomorrow. They're living for today. Enjoy life. That's okay.
Reason why Filipino soldiers have strong fighting spirit
Yeah.
during battles and they don't like to back down missions.
Families, like family.
Number 3, they hate oppressors. Most wars that happened in the Philippines were attributed from the abuses of the oppressors and invaders of the country. When the Americans introduced new helpful systems to help the country improve during the American rule, Filipino soldiers surrendered. Even the famous Filipino generals Miguel Malvar and Simeon Ula surrendered respectively, and that's because there was prosperity among their countrymen. But if the Americans did
the blacks versus the Filipinos together
could have been prolonged and brutal. Number 2, experience. It is known that Filipino soldiers may lack sophisticated equipment and weapons, but they have experience that will make them nightmare to their enemies. When international military exercises were held in the Philippines, such as the Balikatan, many of the foreign soldiers admired the Filipino combat and survival tactics, not to mention the Filipino martial arts, etc. And that's because Filipino soldiers were battling different kinds of warfare and enemies in the past, like the elusive Abu Sayyaf, the communists in the thick jungles of the Philippines, and then the urban warfare with the Mauti group. It provides the Filipino soldiers new knowledge and tactics in handling situations.
That is something too. Like when you really sit down and think about it, like the Philippines may not have like some of the best equipment or like the top notch equipment. They do have equipment, but not like compared to like let's say like the United States of America. Like they got like the best kind of snipers, like stuff that we don't even know about, like drones. And these guys, like I watched a video about the sniping, Philippines versus US. And in that video, I said that the Americans and the Philippines were on par, okay? And when I go back and I think about it even more, I was like, the Filipinos soldiers did not have like scopes. They were shooting the target with iron sights, and they were getting the target. Compared to the United States armies, they all were using scopes. So now when I really think about it, I think I made a mistake when I said they were on par. Because the Filipinos had a disadvantage, but they didn't let that disadvantage, like, they didn't let that use that against them. They used that to the best of their abilities, and they still kept up with the American guys who had the sniper scopes on. So, like, they make do with what they have. That's what I'm trying to say.
And number one, bravery. General
Bravery.
MacArthur once said, "Give me 10,000 Filipinos
Yeah, I heard
and I
that.
shall conquer the world." He himself saw the bravery of the Filipinos during World War II and
No
during
one
the
gets left
Korean War.
behind.
The most epic battle during the Korean War that made Filipino soldiers known for their bravery is the Battle of Yuldong. After
Yeah.
their allies
That one was crazy, man. I did a reaction video to this one as well. The fact that the Filipinos were outnumbered, like it was, I think it was like 40,000 to almost 100,000 or something like that, and the Filipinos held their grounds, even down to the chefs, the people who prep the food, the guys who the medics. Everybody picked up arms and started fighting like that. Everybody, nobody backed down. Nobody wanted to go. Like everyone picked up arms and they killed the invaders, the Koreans, and with only like I think what was it, like 1,000 Filipinos died compared to 100,000 of the other invaders. Man, they can certainly fight, and they certainly do not give up. That's one thing; they do not give up. So I believe this 100%.
retreated in disarray, the Filipinos, numbering 900, found themselves surrounded on all sides by
Yeah,
40,000 enemy soldiers.
40,000.
Yet they stood their ground and repulsed wave after wave of enemy assaults.
And this was after the Americans had already left. The Americans had left and almost like basically gave up and said they needed reinforcements. And the Filipinos said, no, we're not leaving. We're staying here. We got to defend our land.
Which continued well throughout the night. They never gave up their position, they never backed down, and at the end of the battle, 500 enemies killed and only 15 from the Filipino
Only
soldiers
15.
died.
Okay.
During the Marawi siege, Filipino soldiers, even wounded, they never wanted to leave behind their comrades and their position. It is one distinct trait of the Filipino soldiers that made the powerful countries to not underestimate them, and that is their bravery. This is Jake Gizmo, and thank you very much for watching.
Yes, yes, sir. Like I was saying, man, when you really think about it, like when you really sit down and think about it, Filipino people have been like defending themselves for a very long time. First from like the Spanish. Like I heard about a story about the not Morai, Lapu Lapu. Like they killed the Spanish guy before he even went around the world because he thought he can just come in there with on these like primitive people. He thought they were primitive because they had their spears and their sticks, and he had armor and swords and all that stuff. No, no, he was mistaken. Like he quickly found out they were mistaken, and he paid with his life, man. And then when you think about the other one, when the Chinese tried to invade the Philippines, like they stood their ground against them. And then when Korea tried to invade the Philippines, they stood their ground, man. Filipinos have fight. They got heart. I always said that they had heart from the start, man. And like when you watch this stuff, you really think like, yo, it's because I this is just I could be wrong, okay? But I feel like they have a strong sense of like family. I always go back to the family, man. I feel like they have a strong sense of family. And I feel like family is important to them. And when they see one of their comrades going down or something, like someone shot, they're always first to there. Like they're not leaving that guy. They will never leave that person down. And they feel like they got to do their best to make sure that guy who was on the ground, that never happens again to anyone. Because they don't want to see any of their family or comrades on the floor at all or shot or anything. So they make sure and they always give their best, their all. Because I feel like if they feel like something happened and they did not give their all, like they did not get all, they feel like something like they failed. So that's why I feel like they try their hardest and they train their hardest to prove something to the family, keep their family alive, and keep fighting for their country. All right. So, anyways, man, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. You guys made it all, and you guys know what to do, man. Give the video a big thumbs up. Subscribe, you guys new. Turn that post notification bells on. And if you guys got anything else to add, put in the comments down below. All right. Bye.